We'll have the latest 2024.
Now, the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Wednesday. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And quite the picture right here, huh?
Yeah, we got a nice sunrise taking place over Utica right now. Here's a live look along the arterial.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll see yet again another gorgeous day.
3 in a row.
3 in a row. Let's take a live look outside again at what's going on across Utica. You can see, of course, the beautiful sunrise out in the distance. This is, of course, from the camera atop the mast along the arterial early today. And temperatures are starting out in the 60s. A mild start to your Wednesday morning. 70, though, in Westernville, 65 Otter Lake, 60 in Dolgeville, Little Falls, 61 in Sherburne, 63 degrees in Oneonta. Now the radar is picking up some signal of some rain showers way up in the atmosphere, but again, these showers look very weak, and due to their height, most likely they are falling apart before they even reach the ground. So for now, the morning still remains mainly dry with temperatures in the 60s, climbing into the low to mid 80s this afternoon. Now the difference between today and yesterday is that today is going to feel a little bit more humid. And this will set the stage for another humid day tomorrow for 4th of July. But before we get to that, we have the chance for a few scattered showers tonight. We'll talk about those rainfall chances, not only for the overnight hours, but even for the 4th of July in that forecast straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. And don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away. Well, Hurricane Beryl roared across the Caribbean Sea on a path toward Jamaica and the Cayman Islands. So far, at least 6 people have died. A hurricane warning is now in effect for Jamaica and the Cayman Islands. A watch is posted for Haiti's southern coast and the east coast of Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. Beryl was losing some of its intensity when it passed over Jamaica this morning. And Beryl brought its powerful winds and storm surge to the island of Barbados on Monday. The hurricane blew through trees, raised water levels, and made for dangerous surf. Beryl is the first hurricane classified as a Category 4 or higher to appear in June, and the earliest Category 4 storm of the Atlantic hurricane season. At least 116 people.
Summer, stay in the know wherever you go. Download the WKTV News Channel 2 and the Storm Tracker 2 apps today.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Good morning. Welcome back, everyone. We are a day away from the 4th of July, and with it, of course, a lot of you having your final day of the work week, at least temporarily. And as we look ahead to your work day, we've got quiet conditions to start. Temperatures in the 60s, some spots near 70. A colorful sunrise out in the eastern sky early today as well. But again, we're talking about quiet conditions all across the roadways as of this point. No accidents to report of, no official updates just yet on any road work still taking place here across the region. But again, today we're talking about a few clouds in the sky early this morning. These clouds do taper off and give way to sunshine by this afternoon as high temperatures climb into the low 80s. Now, following today, at least into tonight, we'll see a return to some rain showers. Now, these will be spotty, not completely widespread, and they'll generally taper off as we head into the daytime hours tomorrow. But of course, I'll time it all out and have more detailed forecast on that in just a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. North Carolina Congressman Don Davis is calling for...
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Welcome back, everyone. We are starting out the day with mild conditions, a few clouds in the sky, but with these clouds, the perfect sun angle is giving way to a colorful sunrise. Let's take a live look in Oneonta right now. Look at this bright sky out in the east. Beautiful shot right here. We're going to, of course, keep a close eye on this and as well as produce a time lapse you can catch here on News Channel 2 at noon later today. I'm excited to see the extent of how colorful the sunrise gets. Here's another shot in Utica. Look at this gorgeous view right here along the arterial facing the eastern sky. And still, just looking at a breathtaking start to the day, temperature is 66 degrees. The sunset now 8:47. We are starting to see that slow decrease in daylight hours with the latest sunsets of the year, of course, officially coming to an end yesterday. A little muggy, dew points in the 50s, and the humidity will be on the rise as we are tracking a warm front pushing through our region early this morning. You can see some of the rain showers on the radar, but these are high up in the atmosphere and not quite reaching the ground. But this is producing, of course, higher humidity and warmer temperatures for today. But how about tomorrow? Well, following some early morning, or at least overnight into early morning rain showers, sunshine moves in by the afternoon, temperatures in the 80s, higher humidity, clouds return again heading into the late evening. And this is all due to, again, approaching frontal system. We're in the wake of a warm front at this point, but this cold front sweeps through the area heading into tomorrow. But it begins to weaken and shift south and will remain mainly dry for the entirety of the 4th of July. And so in our Skycast early this morning, a few passing clouds, lots of sunshine early this afternoon. This evening, temperatures in the 80s cooling down into the 70s. You can see the passing of that front. It's weakening, but you could still see a stray shower or thunderstorm. Early tomorrow morning, clouds, temperatures in the 70s. We'll see potentially a stray shower or storm come to an end early in the morning. Sunshine for most of the region by the afternoon. And you can see 6 p.m., 80s and sun in the valley before more clouds return heading into the overnight hours. And so for today, high of 85 degrees, warm and more humid by tonight. Lows in the upper 60s, low 70s under mostly cloudy skies. Your 7-day forecast. Following the 4th of July, we've got quiet weather heading into Friday, but rain showers and storms return again by Saturday. We quiet down again Sunday and Monday, but the main story is it's looking pretty July-like with 80s throughout the next 7 days. Gary?
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous weather today and tomorrow,
Wow,
potentially.
what a great day. Well, the time right now is 5:23, still
Where the news comes first. You're watching News Channel
24.
Now. The news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And a third straight nice day here in central New York. A lot of people eyeing tomorrow, though. That's not looking too bad either, right?
Yeah, not too bad. Rain chances overnight, but that's really about it with rainfall potential for the next several days. We even treated to a nice sunrise. Take a look at this, Gary. Beautiful shot in Oneonta right now.
Wow, it's spectacular.
Lots of reds and yellows. In fact, let's take a live look at what's going on across the state. 66 in Rome, 64 in Hamilton. It's a mild start to your day. Don't quite need those light jackets like you did yesterday. Zooming in, 61 Inlet, 55 in Long Lake, 60 in Dowdesville, Little Falls, 65 in Westmoreland, 61 Norwich, 58 Skenevis, 62 in Cooperstown. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. There is some light green detected on the radar scans, but again, this is elevated way above the ground, and this is not any rain that's falling near the surface at this point. So we're dry to start. Plenty of sunshine by this afternoon as temperatures will climb into low to mid 80s with higher humidity. And then following that, of course, we're tracking those rain chances tonight and what you can expect in more detail for 4th of July in that forecast straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. With just about 7 weeks until the Democratic National Convention in Chicago, the Biden campaign.
Summer, never get caught on the course in bad weather. Get severe weather alerts right to your phone with the WKTV Storm Tracker weather app, the only weather app on your phone powered locally by the WKTV Storm Tracker 2 team. When you're on the go, stay in the know.
Weekends on
Good morning and welcome back, everyone. This Wednesday, we are, of course, starting out with our photo of the day, and this one, I think, is a very fitting photo as we are now a day away from the 4th of July, and of course, we do not have a News Channel 2 at sunrise for tomorrow, so I figured this was a great photo to show a U.S. Navy tribute in Frankfurt taken by Joe Belmont. And a lot of beautiful tributes as well, on top of the fact that Clinton now has the Hometown Heroes banners I think it's been long overdue, and I think that now most areas should have just plenty of tributes to any veterans, any service members currently serving. Again, thank you all for your service. We're starting out with temperatures this morning in the 60s, 66 Whitesboro, 60 in Little Falls, and we'll climb quickly from the 60s up into the 80s by this afternoon with increasing humidity. Of course, we'll talk about those rain chances tonight and what we can expect for tomorrow straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. There will be no Midway at the Madison County Fair this year, and
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Welcome back, everyone. The time now is 5:48, and we're starting out the day with a few clouds in the sky, a warm start with temperatures in the 60s. Let's take a live look outside at downtown Utica from the Nexus Center. The colorful sunrise is now giving way to mainly cloudy skies, but these clouds diminish as the morning continues on. Temperatures officially in Rome at 66 degrees, slightly muggy, and again, the sunset times, of course, now getting earlier and earlier. In a live look, the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. We're, of course, picking up on some light green, the radar scans, but these rain showers aren't reaching the ground. These are elevated way up in the sky, and this is telling us that we got a warm front moving in. So those of you having plans for the 4th of July tomorrow, we got good news regarding the weather. Rain showers overnight will taper off by tomorrow afternoon as temperatures climb into the upper 70s to as high as the mid 80s by the late evening. And overall, a little bit humid as well. Humidity takes a hold here in central New York, not only for tomorrow, but also lingering into the weekend. 9 p.m. during firework time, a few clouds in the sky, but mainly dry conditions. Now we're cutting it close with rainfall potential. We're not talking about high pressure keeping weather completely quiet. We're actually seeing a cold front move through the region, and this will weaken but still have the potential of firing up some rain showers overnight tonight. And so in our skycast, you can see here, clouds this morning giving way to plenty of sunshine by this afternoon with temperatures in the 80s. Then by this evening, a few clouds return, and then here comes those rain showers overnight. Not widespread, a few thunderstorms here and there, but following that, we'll see some rain showers begin to taper off by tomorrow morning with sunshine moving in by tomorrow afternoon with highs in the 80s. Again, higher humidity, so you might want to find ways to stay cool by tomorrow afternoon. But again, today we're talking about temperatures in the 80s, warm and more humid by tonight. Lows in the 60s with mostly cloudy skies. 7-day forecast. Following the 4th of July, we're going to have another humid day on tap for Friday. Humidity really kicks in on Saturday with some scattered showers and storms. But that will come to an end with dry conditions approaching on Sunday. Not too bad of a stretch for July standards, Gary. 80s and mainly quiet conditions.
perfect start to the month.
Yeah, beautiful start.
My goodness. Eric, thanks. Well, all eyes will soon be on Cooper's 24.
Now, the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And I just asked you if you felt an earthquake, but maybe I was just moving a little funny over here.
I never feel earthquakes, and
It was weird.
I'll have to check the earthquake detection.
I think it was just me.
But we're tracking nice weather to start today. A few clouds in the sky, but sunshine starting to peek out in Rome and Hamilton with temperatures already in the 60s.
It's already warm out there this morning.
Already warm, warming up even more. Let's take a look at what's going on out there early this morning. Again, 66 in Rome, 63 in Hamilton. Zooming in, we've got 60s and 70s here in the valley, 70 up in Westernville. And then to the south, of course, 60s and upper 50s with 58 degrees officially in Scnevis. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. It's picking up on a few elevated rain showers. This, of course, is diminishing before it reaches the ground. So pretty much all of central New York is experiencing completely dry weather. Now, clouds this morning give way to sunshine by this afternoon as temperatures soar. into the low to mid 80s with higher humidity. Now, we could see some rain showers again tonight, but we will be tracking some dry conditions in time for tomorrow afternoon. We'll talk about that 4th of July forecast, plus what we expect beyond that straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. And don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast, never more than 10 minutes away. Well, Hurricane Beryl roared across the Caribbean Sea on a path toward Jamaica and the Cayman Islands. So far, at least 6 people have died. A hurricane warning is in effect for Jamaica and the Cayman Islands, and a watch is posted for Haiti's southern coast and the east coast of Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. Beryl was losing some of its intensity when it passed over Jamaica earlier this morning. Now, Beryl brought its powerful winds and storm surge to the island of Barbados on Monday. The hurricane blew through trees, raised water levels, and made for some dangerous surf. Beryl is the first hurricane classified as a Category 4 or higher to appear in June in history, and the earliest Category 4 storm of the Atlantic hurricane season ever. At least 116.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Good morning. The time now is 6:12. We're getting you set as you head to the door this morning on our Munson Commutecast. And first off, taking a live look outside along downtown Utica. We're, of course, seeing overcast conditions, but pretty much entirely dry. And on the traffic tracker, we have one incident that has just come in, and it's actually just outside of Little Falls along I-90. And the traffic alert is again crash along I-90 eastbound after exit 29A, getting off to Route 169. So again, crash eastbound. So far, it doesn't look like there's any delays or road closures. Just a heads up that you could encounter that on the side of the road if you're heading outside of Little Falls eastbound along the thruway. But again, besides that, today, quiet conditions across the board. Temperatures starting out in the 60s with clouds giving way to sunshine as temperatures soar into the 80s by this afternoon with increased humidity. Now tonight, not looking entirely as quiet. A few scattered showers and maybe a rumble of thunder could roll through. But then we'll dry out again by tomorrow, just in time for any outdoor activities for 4th of July. Gary?
Thanks. North Carolina Congressman Don Davis is calling for a drought.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Welcome back, everyone. We are starting out the day with a few clouds and mild conditions, warming up into the 80s with increasing sunshine. Live look at downtown Utica right now. You can see, of course, quiet conditions, a few clouds and temperatures in the 60s, 66 at Griffiths and Rome. Muggy conditions, and a reminder, though, that our sunset times starting to get a little bit earlier. We are officially now at 8:47 p.m. sunset. Yesterday it was at 8:48. A live look at the Yorkville Battery's Storm Tracker 2 live radar. I think that there could be some rainfall activity starting to reach the ground out near the Hudson Valley north up near, I would say, some of the lakes just south of Speculator. But for now, things are looking dry and quiet here in our local area. And following the passage of this warm front earlier this morning, we'll see some sunshine arrive from the west. This will be what we'll be experiencing by the afternoon. And so it'll be muggy today. Humidity will increase as we head into tomorrow and Friday, and then tropical-like dew points are expected once more as we approach Saturday. And speaking of the next few days, well, the main focus, of course, is how's weather going to shape up for tomorrow? Well, after some early morning clouds, sunshine peaks out by noontime. Lingers into the early evening. Clouds will return again overnight with temperatures in the 80s for the evening. And you can see here by 9 p.m. clouds dry for the most part. Should be great weather for viewing of fireworks. And so heading to our Skycast, we got a few clouds this morning coming to an end as that warm front passes, and we'll see the sunshine, higher temperatures, and higher humidity. This evening, same story, looking pretty quiet, but by tonight, we'll see a trailing cold front move through the region. It'll weaken as it reaches central New York, so due to that, the rainfall not nearly as widespread. A few scattered showers and potentially rumble of thunder. Then a lingering shower early Thursday morning, giving way to sunshine by the afternoon, and temperatures again in the low to mid 80s. Then Friday, starting out relatively dry. A system passes generally south of central New York for most of the day. Mainly quiet conditions heading into the end of the work week. But for today, though, high of 85 degrees, warm and more humid by tonight, a low of 68 with mostly cloudy skies. 7-day forecast. We're pretty pleasant by July standards heading into the end of the work week, and then by Saturday we'll see potential for a few showers and storms. 80-degree temperatures continue through the weekend and into next week. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Be sure to like us on Facebook and
2024.
Now, the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And many people getting cookouts ready for tomorrow, and you got good news for those folks, huh?
Yes, great cookout weather. A little warm, a little humid, but we'll have some sunshine in the afternoon.
And dry, right?
Dry. And also not only for tomorrow, but also for today. We got sunshine here in the Mohawk Valley. Let's take a closer look at what's going on here locally. Again, we got 60s in Rome and Hamilton, 70s out in Syracuse, 71 in Watertown, 51 up in Saranac Lake, the coolest temperature here in upstate New York. 60 Little Falls, 66 Westmoreland, 63 in Cooperstown, and 61 down in Unadilla. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2, a live radar in the wake of a warm front pushing through the region. We're dry across central New York. However, it looks like there could be potential rain falling out in Saratoga Springs, just north of Albany at this point. But that's really about it with rainfall potential, as the next 12 hours favor more sunshine and temperatures climbing into the low to mid 80s. So humidity on the rise again today. It's looking pretty quiet. We'll track some rain showers arriving overnight tonight. And then what we can expect for tomorrow, well, looking pretty dry and pretty sunny. We'll, of course, have that full detailed forecast in the minutes ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. With less than 2 months until the Democratic National...
Welcome back. Independence Day just a day away, and since there is no News Channel 2 at sunrise tomorrow, I would like to showcase a photo of the day today that is very fitting of the holiday for tomorrow. This one is a U.S. Navy tribute taken in Frankfurt by Joe Belmont. A beautiful scene right there. Always great to see some very picturesque, not only Navy tributes, but also any of the armed forces tributes. Again, a big thank you to all those who have gave their lives, and of course those that have served or continued to serve. Everyone that has not served, of course, is always in your debt. But again, we're talking about temperatures in the 50s this morning, at least in the highest elevations, most of central New York, in the upper 60s. Notice 59 Lake Pleasant, but 60 degrees everywhere else. We'll climb into the 80s as we head into the afternoon with increasing humidity. Now we'll talk about potential rain chances tonight, plus what you can expect in detail for the 4th of July tomorrow. Straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. There will be no midway at the...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Welcome back, everyone. July 3rd is currently the date, and July 4th right around the corner. And we are starting out the day with clouds and sunshine. Don't worry, is on the way. Let's take a live look at downtown Utica right now. We've got few clouds in the sky, but sunshine moving in from the west. A mild start today, too, with temperatures in the 60s, 66 and sunny. Slightly muggy as well with dew points in the mid-50s. And the sunset time now officially going a little bit earlier, about a minute earlier than yesterday. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2, a live radar. In the wake of a warm front, we're seeing some rain showers out north of Albany, but the rest of central New York looking entirely dry. And on our satellite feed, you can, of course, see all these clouds here locally, but plenty of sunshine out west. This will be arriving in our area within the span of the next few hours. So again, it's going to be a little bit on the muggy side today. Humidity returns again a lot more as we head into Thursday and Friday, and then tropical-like dew points expected starting out the weekend on Saturday. But how's the weather shaping up for Memorial, or at least for Independence Day? Well, we've got temperatures in the 70s to start out, upper 70s by noontime, low 80s by 5 p.m. with dry conditions across the board, and then we'll see a few clouds return again by the late evening. Now, rain chances are not going to be entirely non-existent over the next 24 to 48 hours. The reason that is we have a warm front arriving here today. That keeps things relatively warm and humid, but dry. However, a trailing cold front arrives this evening and tonight, primarily during the overnight hours. You can see here a few scattered rain showers and storms. It weakens, so it's not going to produce widespread rainfall or not even for that long. Then a few remnant spotty showers come to an end by the late morning, and we're dry and sunny by the afternoon with temperatures in the 80s. But again, for today, warm, more humid, highs in the low to mid 80s. By tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 68. 7-day forecast. We've got pretty July-like weather for the next few days. Scattered showers and storms begin to arrive once more by Saturday, and then will remain in the 80s by Sunday and Monday. So pretty nice stretch of weather for July standards, Gary.
Can't believe the start of this month.
Yeah, beautiful stretch.
That's for sure. Eric, thanks. Well, all eyes will soon be on Cooperstown.
The news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on the CW11. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And if you like July 1st and July 2nd, you're going to like July 3rd, right?
Nice weather today, nice weather tomorrow.
Even tomorrow.
In fact, this morning, not too bad of a start. We got temperatures in the 60s already. Well, let's take a look at what's going on outside right now. We've got 67 at Griffiths and Rome, 64 in Hamilton. A little cooler up in Saranac Lake at 56, but 73 currently taking place out in Syracuse. More locally, 60s in the valley, as well as most of the locations north, and then, of course, 60s across the southern valleys. 58, the coolest temperature, checking in Skenevis. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. We are tracking just some scattered rain showers, primarily north of Albany from this warm front, but all of central New York here locally remaining entirely dry. In the next 12 hours, starting out with clouds, giving way to sunshine and temperatures soaring into the low to mid 80s. Now, humidity on the rise again today as well, but we are tracking potential for some rain showers tonight. We'll talk about those rain chances, plus how long they last into tomorrow in that forecast straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Hurricane Beryl roared across the Caribbean Sea on a path toward Jamaica and the Cayman Islands. So far, at least 6 people have died. A hurricane warning is in effect for Jamaica and the Cayman Islands, and a watch is posted for Haiti's southern coast and the east coast of Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. Beryl was losing some of its intensity when it passed over Jamaica this morning. And Beryl brought its powerful winds and storm surge to the island of Barbados on Monday. The hurricane blew through trees, raised water levels, and made for dangerous surf. Beryl is the first hurricane classified as a Category 4 or higher to appear in June, and the earliest Category 4 storm of the Atlantic hurricane season ever. At least 116.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning and welcome back. The time now is 7:23. We're tracking clouds and mild conditions to start, but sunshine moving in by this afternoon. A live look at downtown Utica. We've got, of course, the clear skies slowly starting to move in from the west. And regarding those temperatures, again, it's a pretty mild start to the day. 67 degrees officially at Griffiths and Rome. Humidity on the slightly muggy side. But something else to mention, too, as well, is you can take a look right there. The sunset time now at 8:47. And that's where we're seeing the earlier and earlier sunsets now in the year. But regardless, the days remain pretty warm as we enter the warmest stretch of the year. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. A few showers out near the Albany region, but here locally quiet and dry all across central New York. And on our satellite feed, you can see here clouds to start, plenty of sunshine arriving by this afternoon with the clear skies currently setting up right over Buffalo at this point. Humidity will remain on the muggy side today, increasing by tomorrow and Friday, and then tropical-like humidity is expected as we head into Saturday. And the all-important forecast, of course, what can you expect for tomorrow? Well, we've got a few clouds and rain showers tapering off in the morning, giving way to sunshine by the afternoon. Temperatures in the upper 70s, low 80s. A few clouds will increase as we head into the overnight hours. So for those of you heading out to fireworks, you'll be seeing clouds, but mainly dry conditions. But heading to our Skycast, today we've got a few clouds starting off, but notice sunshine across the board this afternoon, a strong south wind keeping temperatures warm and humidity also on the rise. Then overnight tonight, a front pulls through, it weakens, but we still could see a couple of showers or maybe rumble of thunder as this passes by. But then following the late morning, clouds give way to better shots of sunshine, temperatures in the 80s, and overall pretty dry weather. But again, humidity will also be pretty notable. Then following that, a few clouds overnight tomorrow night, a passing shower well south of us as the system continues to push south and east of central New York, as more sunshine is expected again by Friday. But for today, though, warm, more humid, high of 85 tonight. Looking at mostly cloudy skies, a low of 68. 7-day forecast. We've got 80s on tap, lingering into not only the start of the weekend, but also next week. Very warm, humid as well, with our best shot of any notable rain showers coming on Saturday.
And with Gary Liberatore.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Beryl, the second named storm of the hurricane season, now just off the coast of Jamaica at this hour. NBC's Sam Brock has more on our top story here at noon.
These are the breathless moments right now before Hurricane Beryl either makes direct landfall over the island of Jamaica or comes very close to it. The National Hurricane Center not exactly sure which of those two outcomes it's going to be, and that is a significant difference as you have conversations with locals here, and they tell you the last time that Jamaica took a direct hit from a major hurricane was Hurricane Gilbert back in the late 1980s, and it changed life as they know it. Will that repeat itself right now? The latest from the ground here, the Prime Minister of Jamaica declared the entire island a disaster area last night. He implemented a curfew from 6 a.m. until 6 p.m., and he gave the green light to authorized officers to evacuate low-lying areas, although as of early evening yesterday, there were no evacuations underway. There are hundreds of shelters potentially available to residents, but at this hour, it's not exactly clear how many of them are even open. As you look over my shoulder right now, you see all these homes, plenty in the hills that look like they've had pretty decent construction. Folks here say that they have prepared for this moment with steel and concrete, the foundations in Jamaica really deep below the ground because there are so many hurricanes. But the roofs, they worry, could fly right off. And as you look around me, you'll see some homes that don't look like they're constructed solidly enough to necessarily withstand 130, 140 mile per hour winds. Conversations with folks on the ground as well say their biggest concern right now, loss of power and loss of telecommunications. They're not necessarily worried about the buildings. But putting that aside for a second, look at what has already happened across the Caribbean. You have Grenada and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Those islands look like, in some cases, just absolute distant versions of what they used to be, as there are huge pockets of homes shredded. So many there. On one island, according to the Prime Minister of Grenada, you have 90% of all homes either destroyed or severely damaged. Can that repeat here? Obviously, folks here in Jamaica don't necessarily have that level of concern yet. It's sort of part of the island DNA, if you will, not to get too worried about anything. But right now, everyone's antennas are up as we know that this system, this historic Hurricane Beryl, it is the strongest hurricane ever so far at this point of the season, is prepared right now to bear its grips down on the island of Jamaica. And folks here are just standing by to see what's happening. We'll be on top of all of it throughout the day. Sam Brock, NBC News.
And of course, we'll have the very latest on Hurricane Beryl's impact on Jamaica tonight on the Live at 5 News Hour. Meteorologist Eric Gage joining us now. Eric, and how strong is this storm at the moment?
We're still looking at a Category 4 major hurricane status, and I want to take a quick look at what happened so far across the Caribbean. And so this was a few days ago. This is the path of this Category 5 weakened into Category 4. Now, the very unusual part of this storm is that it's encountering a lot of shear in the atmosphere, or changing wind direction and height. Now, in typical meteorological research, these hurricanes will weaken tremendously as it encounters it, but this storm is different. This is barely weakening. The convection is so strong, the ocean waters are so warm, that the hurricane is still at a Category 4 right now and is just off the coast of Jamaica. And this path sends it just along the, just south of Cuba, heading into the Yucatan Peninsula, potentially as a Category 1, weakening into a tropical storm, and then potentially strengthening once more as it taps into that Gulf water into a Category 1 once more. Now, there's still uncertainty as to where it falls beyond Mexico, whether it's going to be right here just along the border of Mexico and Texas, or even farther to the north. But again, the main concern right now is obviously going to be the folks down in Jamaica. But with all that aside, here in Utica, we're looking at beautiful summer-like weather today. We've got temperatures in the 70s with higher humidity. In fact, just reached the 80-degree mark in Rome. And we're still looking at dew points in the 60s with temperatures throughout the remainder of the afternoon remaining in the upper 70s to as high as the mid-80s. Now, clouds will increase tonight, giving way for a few spotty rain showers. We're, of course, tracking those rain showers and what we can expect heading into 4th of July tomorrow. Straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Brand new this noon, the city of Utica has announced which local
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon and welcome back. It was a mild start this morning. Clouds have dissipated for the most part and sunshine is moving in. But before we get to that, though, of course, the all-important forecast for the 4th of July. How are things shaping up? Well, in the morning, lingering clouds and potentially a stray shower coming to an end as temperatures soar into the low to mid-80s with increased humidity. However, clouds will return again as we head into the evening hours for just in time for fireworks, but most of the area will remain entirely dry. So that's how Independence Day is shaping up. But today, you can see a lot more blue skies here at noon than it was here early this morning. And those temperatures quickly climbed into the 80s so far today with humid conditions and dew points in the low 60s. A live look at the Fort Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Quiet and dry conditions all across central New York. And as I mentioned here, we are beyond that warm front here in central New York. So now we're starting to see that window of sunshine before our next weather system, this cold front out here in the west, will arrive late tonight. And now how late? Well, here's a look at our rainfall chances. Now, we're not talking about anything widespread or long-term regarding rainfall. This front will weaken as it reaches our area and produce a few remnant spotty showers as it continues to weaken into early tomorrow morning. And you notice by tomorrow afternoon and evening, rain chances nearly non-existent. So that's good news for those of you who have any plans for tomorrow and even into the start of the 4th of July weekend. And so, muggy to humid today, humid tomorrow and Friday, tropical humidity on Saturday. Now, the dry weather does not stick around Saturday, but it does stick around on Friday. So before we get to that, though, again, today we're talking about sunshine, temperatures in the 80s, that strong south wind bringing in that humidity. And then here comes that cold front, not really causing too much in terms of rainfall activity. And then we'll see, of course, clouds give way to sunshine and temperatures in the 80s by tomorrow afternoon. Then tomorrow night, a few more clouds, and then sunshine returns on Friday. Temperatures starting out in the 60s, climbing into the 80s once more as we wrap up the work week with a mainly dry day. For today, though, high of 85, warm and more humid. Tonight, mostly cloudy, low of 68. 7-day forecast. July 4th for tomorrow. shaping up pretty nicely, again, after some overnight rain showers. Then showers and storms return again on Saturday, drying out on Sunday. But the common trend is, Gary, we have several days, in fact, 7 days straight of 80-degree weather or more. So summer is here.
Everything's working out nicely for this holiday.
Yes, beautiful start and beautiful holiday tomorrow.
That's for sure. Eric, thanks. Well, coming up, drones or old-fashioned fireworks.
Summer, stay in the know wherever you go. Download the WKTV News Channel 2 and the Storm Tracker 2 apps today.
The Financial Report.
House gas emission. Good afternoon once again, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Libitor.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And everyone wondering about tomorrow's big forecast for the 4th of July and all those barbecues.
Yes, and we're talking about nice barbecuing weather, even for today as well.
All right.
If you want an early head start on some grilling, some hot dogs and burgers. Let's take a look at that grillcast for today, tomorrow, and for Friday. And we're saying yes across the board for great grilling weather. Although temperatures are going to be in the 80s, humidity high, so make sure you guys stay hydrated out there with some ice-cold waters if needed. But again, here in central New York, we're talking about 80-degree temperatures, sunshine, pretty much all extending throughout the local area. In our next 12 hours, we favor sunshine to start. Clouds will increase this evening, right before we're tracking the arrival of a cold front. Now, this will produce a few scattered showers, nothing widespread, but the rainfall chances are there. Now, will these rain chances extend into the daytime hours tomorrow? We'll talk about that in that forecast straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Evacuation orders and warnings are out in California as a wildfire continues to spread. State fire officials have named the incident the Thompson Fire, which has burned more than 2,000 acres already. Ashley Sharp has more now from California.
The fast-moving Thompson Fire exploding in size Tuesday, burning this home to the ground on Canyon Drive. In the distance, the firefight continues. Hand crews moving in as every Butte County unit and dozens of units from outside the county close in. Dark smoke billowing in the sky, an omen of more structures burned.
It's scary, and it's moving fast.
A fire of this magnitude, a first for some longtime North Oroville neighbors.
This is the closest that it's been, and we had giant embers dropping on the driveway, and I said, okay, we got to go. I can't do this.
Ann Brady lives in Kelly Ridge, among the 13,000 people under evacuation orders Tuesday night.
I got my dog, and I packed up the car, and I came down here. And then I was going to take a run into town. Well, they won't let me come back up here if I go down there. So I'm just going to sit here for as long as it takes and pray that it's over soon, that no one's hurt.
CAL FIRE telling us a top priority today has been holding the Thompson Fire at the Oroville Dam. Look at the difference just a few steps can make from where I'm standing off into the distance where we have seen flames. But right now, this incredibly dense smoke. Structures stained pink. Evidence of where a retardant drop was able to stop the Thompson Fire in its tracks at Long Bar Road. Crews holding it to the north. Still, the fire moving quickly. Jumping the Feather River and making its run toward Olive Highway in the Kelly Ridge area, according to CAL FIRE Tuesday night. Crews from more than a dozen helicopters and air tankers attacking from the sky. A firefight that will continue now into the early morning.
Ashley Sharp reporting, and now the cause of that massive fire still not known. Well, it was supposed to be the
WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon and welcome back. We are still in a very warm day today with temperatures already in the 80s and plenty of sunshine. Before we get to today's forecast, the all-important forecast will be for tomorrow. How's the weather shaping up? Well, after some early morning, or at least overnight to early morning rain, things will quiet down with sunshine and temperatures climbing into the low to mid 80s with higher humidity. And then clouds will increase once more as we head throughout the evening in time for fireworks. But rainfall chances largely steer clear of central New York. And today we've got a beautiful July-like day with sunshine, warmer temperatures already at the 80-degree mark, and of course a little bit of humidity. Not nearly as tropical as the heat wave we saw a few weeks ago, but still we're talking about increased humidity compared to yesterday. Radar is quiet and dry. Satellite showing sunshine moving in, and our next chance of seeing generally overcast skies will be from this cold front tonight. And this system will bring the rain chances heading into the overnight hours. You can see it right here, dry until the overnight, then rain chances into early tomorrow morning, but then those rain chances diminish by tomorrow afternoon. Humidity remaining pretty impressive for Thursday and Friday. Tropical like humidity on Saturday with dew points in the 70s. But today, temperatures in the 80s, plenty of sunshine, that strong south wind bringing in that humidity as well. Scattered showers and clouds overnight tonight, lingering into early tomorrow morning. But then you can see here, sunshine moving in by tomorrow afternoon. Those who have any cookout plans or firework plans, things should be golden just for that. Then we'll see skies return to clear as we head into the Friday afternoon with high temperatures in the 80s. And so today, high of 85, it's warm and more humid than yesterday. Tonight, a low of 68 with mostly cloudy skies. Your 7-day forecast, a common trend the next few days are 80-degree temperatures lingering into the weekend. Our best shot for notable rain showers will be on Saturday, and then sunshine does return by Sunday and Monday. Gary?
Eric, thanks. And we are back.
News with Jason Palace.
Good evening, everyone. Kristen is off tonight. We're going to get to those stories in just a minute. First, grills are at the ready, fridges and freezers are stacked and full, and fireworks are all lined up. But will the weather cooperate for Independence Day holiday tomorrow? Well, Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis standing by with the answer to all of that, and I bet you it's good news.
It is good news. We're looking at warmer and more humid conditions, and for the most part, dry weather going forward. We are watching tonight for the chance of a few sprinkles, and we might see a very brief sprinkle very early tomorrow. But the majority of the stretch of our weather going forward through the weekend will be dry. 85 degrees is the current temperature. The dew point's up to 62, so it's noticeably more humid, but it's not too humid. That will change over the next 24 hours. We're taking a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. The weather looks dry. A few showers are expected tonight. A warm night. Then overnight lows will be a lot warmer going forward, again, because we've got humidity on the way. Very warm on the 4th of July. We're tracking the heat and humidity as we head into the weekend. Temperatures this evening will be in the 70s to low 80s. Warm, perfect weather for grilling. And that will be the case over the next couple of days. I've got to look at that holiday forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Healing is hard. Sometimes it helps to do.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We are tracking much warmer and more humid weather as we head into the 4th of July and beyond. Let's take a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. All is quiet across the region. Temperature of 84 degrees, mostly sunny skies. Again, just lovely conditions out there this evening. It is noticeably warmer and slightly more humid than it's been lately. Here's a look at the forecast heading into Independence Day. It looks nice, partly sunny skies throughout the afternoon. Temperatures climb into the mid-80s, and it looks warm, dry, and humid for fireworks heading into the evening. Temperatures in the 70s. When we account for the humidity, it's going to feel close to 90 over the next 2 days, even though we are not expecting the air temperature to hit 90. With the increasing levels of humidity, the heat index will approach 90 both Thursday and Friday, and it's going to be close on Saturday, too. It will be noticeably cooler, less or a lot more comfortable on Sunday, and then it's very warm again as we look ahead to Monday. A lovely sunrise earlier today. This picture from Kim Hansen over Delta Lake. A beautiful day, beautiful start to the day, and again, plenty of sunshine throughout the afternoon. Westville at 83 degrees, Deansboro 81, Little Falls 87, Cooperstown 81, and Oneonta with 79. Bigger picture shows a weak front to our west. This is a push of humidity. It's going to carry with it a few scattered showers. We're also keeping an eye on Hurricane Beryl. It didn't quite make landfall in Jamaica, but it's still producing a lot of damage. The eye wall very close to the island currently. It will head to the west and weaken, but it may redevelop into a Category 1 hurricane before making landfall in northern Mexico and southern Texas as we head into the end of the weekend. As far as our local weather goes, it is not expected to impact our local weather anytime soon. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast tonight. Overnight lows drop down into the upper 60s. A much warmer night ahead. Heading into tomorrow, partly sunny skies. We could see a sprinkle very early in the day, but otherwise it's pleasant. It's looking dry for fireworks, and the weather remains dry as we head into tomorrow night. Overnight lows only near 70. Friday, partly sunny, very warm and humid with high temperatures in the upper 80s. The weather remains very mild and muggy as we head into the weekend. Tonight, mostly cloudy, the chance of a shower, 68 for the overnight low. Warm and humid tomorrow, 86. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Showers, thunderstorms are expected early Saturday, 86 degrees. It's cooler on Sunday, 81, but then the heat and humidity are back for Monday. More showers and thunderstorms arrive as we look ahead to Tuesday and Wednesday. So that stretch is considered above average, especially the overnight lows. We've got a lot of warm nights ahead.
I don't know about you, but we like the summer. And when you say, oh, it's cooler on Monday, I love that it's cooler and it's 81.
Yes, for Sunday, yes.
Love that stuff. All right, thanks, Bill. Hurricane Beryl continues its destructive path in the Caribbean as it now zeroes in on the island of Jamaica. Sam Brock has the latest from Kingston.
Hurricane Beryl is plowing through the Caribbean right now, sustaining winds of around 140 miles an hour, even now, which is to say it's not just a Category 4 hurricane, but a solid, strong Category 4. And yet, here we are in Kingston, southeastern portion of the island. We're not really feeling those winds. I mean, you look over my shoulder right now at the hillsides and some of the towns here a couple of miles away from the coast. You see some rain coming down. It's not particularly hard. We're not feeling those hurricane force winds. The good news for at least the population center here is that this system is about 60 to 75 miles southeast of where we are. The hurricane force winds only extend 45 miles. So it is possible that at least here we escape the worst of it. But the western portion of Jamaica still very much could be pummeled in the hours ahead. The prime minister for the country came out last night and said the entire island is a disaster area. He implemented a curfew from 6 a.m. until 6 p.m. and said he may have to protectively turn off things like power and electricity. Having conversations with folks who were getting prepared and out there buying their supplies. I spoke with a mom and her niece earlier today. They told me their biggest concern right now is the impact on communications and electricity. They want to be able to talk to their loved ones. They may have their supplies, but they're worried about whether those loved ones, if they're receiving medical care, are going to be able to continue to do so. In some of the poorer areas of the country, there may not be generators, whether it's hospitals or care facilities. That's what's top of mind right now. I would also add there's at least 20 or more shelters that are open where we are, Kingston St. Andrews. Spoke with the disaster coordinator there. They opened it up. That may have just been this morning. As of last night, posted on the state's website, they weren't showing any shelters that are open. That has clearly changed today. Some of them are being filled up as the hours pass by. But it is not clear by any stretch that there's a large portion of people migrating at least here to shelters, as this system right now very much barreling through where we are, but far enough, at least at the moment, that we're not getting the brunt of those winds. In Kingston, Sam Brock, NBC News. Back to you.
Well, it may be time to take a break and enjoy the holiday. Meteorologist Bill Curtis, a little fireworks forecast, Bill?
Yeah, the weather looks great tomorrow night for fireworks. Temperatures will be in the upper 70s. It looks humid and dry, and that's pretty standard for this time of the year. We're looking at a very warm and humid 4th of July, and it should be a really nice one. We do have the chance for a few showers overnight. Right now, things look dry, so if you're heading out this evening, no worries. Doing some grilling this evening, the weather should be pretty good. But again, overnight, maybe a couple of sprinkles are expected as a push of warmer and more humid air is on the way. Take a look at the temperature trend here. Yeah, while we don't have any days ahead that hit 90, it's going to feel like 90 with the humidity. Warmest day of the stretch on Friday, 88 degrees for the high. Taking the dog out for a walk this evening, the weather looks warm and it's becoming increasingly more humid. Temperatures will be in the low 80s this evening. Max from Canastota is tonight's featured dog. This is brought to you by Nye Automotive Group. We're tracking Again, the forecast heading into the holiday weekend coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. As the holiday weekend approaches, many folks are, of course, headed out to the beach.
Never get caught on the course in bad weather. Get severe weather alerts right to your phone with the WKTV Storm Tracker weather app, the only weather app on your phone powered locally by the WKTV Storm Tracker 2 team. When you're on the go, stay in the know.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. A lovely day. It is turning warmer and noticeably more humid. Let's take a live look in Cooperstown. You can see the flag waving. We've had a breeze today. That has helped. Temperatures have made it into the low to mid 80s across the area, but with the wind, it doesn't feel too bad. It could be worse. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. It is dry. It will be dry throughout the course of this evening. Here's a look at how the 4th of July weekend turns out, at least Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Very warm, very humid. Temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. The weather looks dry. Aside from tonight, we could have a brief shower, and as well as early Saturday, showers and thunderstorms. Saturday is trending less of a washout. It looks like that wet weather will be mainly early in the day, but we'll keep an eye on it. A very warm and humid stretch of weather ahead, which means the air conditioner will be coming in handy over the next couple of days, especially Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. While temperatures will stay below 90, the humidity will make it feel like 90, especially Thursday and Friday, and feeling like the upper 80s on Saturday, too. Good weather to grill. Looking at dry weather tomorrow and Friday. Saturday, you could grill, but I would wait until later in the day once the storm threat is over by the late afternoon to early evening. Skywatchers checking in. Temperatures in the 80s. Clinton, Bob, 85. Lyman and Eaton, 82. Jeff and Mohawk, 84. Edmonston with 80 degrees, as well as Mark in Milford. We've got high pressure that controls our weather for now. To the west we go, this area of showers. This is a weak front, which produces a couple of sprinkles in our area as we head into tonight. That's out of here by tomorrow. Looking at Hurricane Beryl, the latest track is taking this into southern Texas and northern Mexico as we head into Sunday as likely a Category 1 hurricane. So we'll keep an eye on that. Right now it's currently just south of Jamaica, at least the eye is just south of Jamaica as a major hurricane. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast tonight, looking at partly cloudy skies. Again, a few sprinkles overnight. It is going to be noticeably warmer tonight than the last several nights. Overnight lows near 70. Tomorrow, partly sunny skies, a pleasant 4th of July. Temperatures climb into the mid-80s. Dry for fireworks. Dry on Friday, partly sunny. Warm, humid temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. Mostly cloudy tonight, chance of a shower, low of 68. Tomorrow, partly sunny skies, very warm and humid, 86. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Friday, partly sunny, 88. Saturday, showers and thunderstorms, especially early, 86. It is noticeably cooler on Sunday, but still nice, 81. Warm on Monday, 87. More showers and thunderstorms expected Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll be right back.
Palace.
Good evening, everyone. Kristen is off tonight. We're going to get to those stories in just a minute. But first, lots of people wondering about the weather for those Independence Day cookouts, fireworks, beach excursions, and other festivities tomorrow. So we're going to head right over to Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis to see what we can expect. Good evening, Bill.
Good evening, Jason. And yeah, the weather looks great this year. We're talking about warm and humid conditions and generally dry weather as we head into Independence Day. We're sitting at 84 degrees this evening. The big change in the weather has been the dew point. The humidity, it's up, and it's going to continue to climb here as we head into the weekend. The wind also picking up today from the south at 16 miles an hour, helping to bring in this warm and humid weather. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Things look pretty quiet this evening. Although we are tracking a couple of showers here tonight, the weather should cooperate for the 4th of July. It's looking very warm and humid, and the heat and humidity are going to gradually build as we head into the end of the week and start of the weekend. This evening, temperatures in the upper 70s to low 80s, warm, pleasant, breezy. We're tracking the weather as we head into the weekend, along with our next chance of rainfall, and that's coming up. Jason, back over to you.
Bill, thank you. Healing is hard.
The The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. Warmer, more humid weather on the way as we head into the 4th of July. Let's take a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. It is looking pretty quiet out there this evening. If you're looking to enjoy this evening outdoors, we're expecting the weather to remain dry, although we do have the chance for a few showers here tonight. 83 degrees in downtown Utica. The humidity is up compared to yesterday, but it's not too high at the moment. It'll be increasing as we head into the weekend. Your 4th of July forecast is looking great. Looking at partly sunny skies, temperatures climb into the mid-80s. The weather looks great for fireworks time. We're expecting temperatures to be in the 70s. It will be humid. It will be a warm night, as it usually is. But again, the most important news of all, it does look dry. We're not tracking any wet weather here later in the day. The heat index approaches 90 tomorrow, even though the air temperature makes it into the mid-80s. With the increasing levels of humidity, it is going to feel like 90 in the afternoon. Same thing goes for Friday as well as Saturday, close to 90. And then we'll see some relief from that as we head into Sunday as a cold front arrives Saturday during the late morning to early afternoon. Did you miss the sunrise? I know I did. On this schedule, I get up way after the sunrise. But this picture taken from Delta Lake by Kim Hansen, and it was a gorgeous one. We had a lot of people that said it was spectacular earlier today. Nice to see that. Could have a nice sunset this evening, too, with some high clouds around. Whitesboro, 85 degrees. Bob and Clinton, 85. Curtis, 80 degrees. Westford, 78. Frank in Paynes Hollow with 84. We are tracking a few sprinkles to the west. This is a dying front. It's actually a push of more humidity. Not a lot of weather with it. But then that does arrive here tonight. Continuing to keep an eye on Major Hurricane Beryl as it continues to move to the west. Right now it's over Jamaica as a major hurricane. It's expected to hit the Yucatan Peninsula as we head into Friday and potentially into the Gulf of Mexico, southern Texas, northern Mexico as we head into Sunday as a Category 1 hurricane. We'll keep an eye on that. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast, a few sprinkles tonight. Overnight lows drop into the low 70s, a very warm night. A very warm day tomorrow, humid temperatures in the mid-80s, but it does look to stay dry. Tomorrow night, the weather remains very mild, overnight lows in the upper 60s, and it's very warm on Friday and humid with high temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. Tonight, mostly cloudy, the chance of a shower, a low of 68. Tomorrow, very warm and humid and pleasant temperatures in the mid 80s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast, hot Friday, 88. Saturday, showers and thunderstorms early in the day, 86. Sunday looks dry, cooler, 81, 87 on Monday. Showers and thunderstorms Tuesday and Wednesday. Great weather for the summer.
I know, right? When you say cooler, 81, that's still awesome.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Bill. Still to come on News Channel 2 at 6, a former Syracuse standout will get. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Set to be a great weather stretch starting tomorrow. Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis here to get us set. And the big question is, what are we going to see for the 4th of July fireworks?
Looking good.
Right.
The weather should be great for Independence Day. We're in the 70s in the very early afternoon. We'll make it into the mid-80s, and it's dry for fireworks. We might have a shower very early tomorrow morning, but that should be it. Looking at humid conditions, and it should be great weather for the 4th of July. Whatever your plans are, parades, picnics, barbecue, fireworks, it's a fun day, and I hope you get a chance to enjoy it. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. We're going to keep an eye on this tonight. We're expecting a couple of sprinkles as a weak disturbance approaches from the west, and that'll be around late tonight and early tomorrow. Temperatures will be in the mid-80s over the next several days. We are tracking some very warm weather. With the humidity, it will feel like 90 at times, especially Friday afternoon. Temperatures remain in the 80s as we head into early next week as well. Tonight, going to bed, good night to run the air conditioner. Overnight lows will be in the upper 60s. We are tracking, again, a very warm stretch of weather heading into the holiday weekend. Look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. New tonight, New Hartford firefighters made quick work of
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We are taking a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. While the weather looks pretty quiet tonight, I am keeping an eye on these showers that are to the north and west. There is the chance that we could see a couple of sprinkles here late tonight and into very early tomorrow. Live look at downtown Utica. It is a warm night, temperature of 79, and it will be humid as we head into the 4th of July. This is a look at your holiday weekend forecast. 86 tomorrow, 88 Friday. The chance for showers and thunderstorms on Saturday. That chance looks to be mainly in the morning. 86 for the high. Fireworks forecast, 70s tomorrow night, humid, dry. Should be a lovely night to catch a fireworks show. The heat index will climb to near 90 over the next couple of days. Thursday and Friday, remember the heat index accounts for the humidity as well as the air temperature. Still feels like 89 on Saturday. It's cooler Sunday. We're into the upper 80s again by Monday. Lovely sunrise earlier this morning. This picture from Delta Lake taken by Kim. We should see another lovely sunrise as we head into tomorrow. As we look at the radar and satellite image, again, a disturbance moves in from the west, could produce a few sprinkles here tonight. We're also keeping an eye on Major Hurricane Beryl, which is now exiting Jamaica. It's going to be heading towards the Yucatan Peninsula as a Category 2 hurricane. This is not expected to affect our local weather. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast tonight. Again, a few passing showers are possible. Overnight lows in the upper 60s. Tomorrow, partly sunny skies, pleasant. Temperatures will make their way into the mid-80s. We're dry tomorrow night, another warm night. Overnight lows near 70. And then on Friday, partly sunny skies, warmer and more humid with high temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. Mostly cloudy tonight, the chance of a shower, low of 68. Tomorrow, very warm and humid. It is looking dry, highs in the mid 80s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Partly sunny Friday, 88. Showers, thunderstorms early Saturday, 86. Cooler Sunday, 81. The weather next week looks warm. Monday's high, 87. Showers and thunderstorms are back. So you look ahead to Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll be right back.
With Jason Palace.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. It's going to be great to weather stretch the next couple of days, especially starting tomorrow. Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis here to get us set for our holiday. Wow, we have a great 4th ahead.
I'm excited about this.
Yeah.
It's warm, it's humid, it's dry. You really couldn't ask for anything more than this. Temperatures are going to climb into the mid-80s. It's going to be a great summer day. We might have a sprinkle very early in the day, but the weather looks great for fireworks. Temperatures will be in the 70s here by tomorrow evening. We are looking at a couple of sprinkles out there tonight, though, and this is all part of a weak disturbance that's moving in. You can see a couple of sprinkles showing up at Lewis County, as well as central Herkimer County. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. This is moving to the east, and this will be out of here as we head into tomorrow. Temperatures are going to trend warm. We're going to be in the mid-80s with the humidity. It's going to feel like 90 at times. So, again, midsummer heat for midsummer. Temperatures will be coolest on Sunday, but overall, a pretty nice stretch of weather is expected as we head into the next 7 days. This evening, good night to run the air conditioner. Overnight, temperatures drop down into the upper 60s. Again, tracking some nice weather tomorrow. We are tracking some thunderstorms for Saturday, though. We're going to look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. New tonight, New Hartford firefighters made.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We are tracking a weak disturbance moving in from the west that could bring us a couple of sprinkles tonight. This is a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. You can see them out towards Syracuse. Not a lot of weather here tonight with this. It's a brief shower, and behind it, the weather is looking really nice for the 4th of July. Live look at downtown Utica, 77 degrees. This is the temperature at 11 o'clock this evening. Of course, it's a very warm night. Good night to run the air conditioner. Here's a look at your holiday weekend forecast, at least 3 of the 4 days here. 86 for the high tomorrow, 88 Friday. On Saturday, That's the day we're going to be watching for showers and thunderstorms, particularly early in the day. Doesn't look like Saturday is going to be a washout, but there could be some wet weather early on, 86 for the high. Forecast for fireworks tomorrow night, 70s, humid, typical weather for the 4th of July. It does look dry. The heat index tomorrow will approach 90 degrees. Same thing with Friday. The increasing levels of humidity will make it feel like a midsummer stretch here. 89 for the heat index on Saturday, 81 on Sunday, and then back up to 88 on Monday. Beautiful sunrise earlier today. We might get lucky and have another nice one tomorrow. We'll see. I know I won't be up that early. Live look at the radar and satellite image, again, tracking that disturbance working in from the west. That's really the only weather we're watching for the short term. Our eyes continue to be on Hurricane Beryl in the Caribbean as it continues to make its way away from Jamaica. It caused tons of destruction in Jamaica today, heading towards the Cayman Islands, eventually the Yucatan Peninsula, and then perhaps southern Texas as we head into the end of the weekend. We'll keep an eye on that. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, again, a few passing showers possible. Overnight lows in the upper 60s. Beautiful on the 4th of July, partly sunny, warm, humid, temperatures in the mid-80s. We're dry for fireworks. We're dry tomorrow night. Overnight lows drop down to near 70. Warm and humid again Friday with more sunshine and temperatures in the upper 80s. Tonight, mostly cloudy, the chance of a shower, low of 68. Tomorrow, very warm and humid, partly sunny, temperatures in the mid-80s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Showers, thunderstorms expected early Saturday, 86 for the high. It's cooler Sunday, 81. We're back up to 87 Monday. Showers and thunderstorms return on Tuesday and Wednesday.
I'll take this stretch, though.
It's looking great, just in time for the holiday weekend.